You know, a lot of people actually ask me, why do you love Poland so much? I mean, look, I grew up in the US. I was born and raised there until I was 14. And then I moved to Warsaw. And honestly, living here for the past 5 years has completely changed my perspective on so many things. So I thought I'd share why I love Poland and why, if I had to choose, I think I'd pick Poland over the US every time. First of all, let me talk about the culture. There's just honestly something about Polish culture that's so rich and deep. I think coming from the US, of course, where things can sometimes feel a little, I don't know, superficial or focused on the newest trends or the next big thing. So Poland feels like it has these layers of history and tradition. So people here really actually value their heritage. There are so many holidays and traditions that are really unique to Poland, and I love how every season brings something new. For example, Christmas here is incredible. The traditions are so detailed and meaningful, like the whole 12 dishes on Christmas Eve, no meat, just fish, and all these different dishes that are passed down from generation to generation. It honestly feels like everyone comes together, no matter where they are in the world, to sit down and enjoy a meal that's almost sacred. It's just different than what I was used to back in the US, where Christmas felt a little bit more commercialized, all about the gifts and all of that, you know? Here it's more about family and about connection. And the food, I could talk about Polish food for forever. When I first moved here, I didn't know actually what to expect, but wow. Of course, the traditional pierogi, żurek, bigos, barszcz, it's all so hearty and comforting, but in comparison to how I used to eat it in the US and in comparison to here in Poland, it's the food here feels richer, you know, because it's actually from Poland. But in the US, when I would eat Polish food, it didn't feel the same. And of course, there were homemade meals and cooking from scratch, so it's healthier. And honestly, it tastes amazing. Polish food tastes amazing. And in every single dish, there's care and effort, and it's really truly made with love. And that's why I love Polish food. And speaking of food, let's talk about the costs of living. This is a really big one for me because everything here is so much more affordable to the US. I mean, in Warsaw, you can go out, have a great meal, or even do a bunch of activities without breaking the bank. Well, in comparison to the US, especially in New York, let's say, it's easy to feel you're constantly spending so much money just to live a decent life. Rent, groceries, transportation, it really truly all adds up. Here, it feels like your money goes further and you can enjoy life more without that stress about finances, hanging over your head all the time. And then there's the public transportation. Oh man, I cannot stress this enough. I love how easy it is to get around in Poland without a car. In the US, you almost literally have to have a car to get anywhere, especially if you're outside of a big city. But here in Warsaw especially, I just hop on the tram, bus, or the metro, and I can get anywhere in Warsaw in 30 minutes or less. So it's so convenient, and it's also super affordable. Plus, it's very eco-friendly compared to driving everywhere, which I think is quite important. Another thing I really truly appreciate is the sense of community here. In Poland, people are close-knit, and there's a strong sense of helping each other out in a way. I remember when I first moved here, I didn't know a lot of people, and my Polish obviously wasn't the best, but everyone was very, very, very welcoming. My classmates, my neighbors even, they'd invite me to their homes and kind of help me and introduce me to the culture a bit and help me feel at home, and they would show me around the city. And it's a bit different in the US, where things can feel a little bit more individualistic, I would say. Here it feels like people genuinely kind of care about each other and they don't really like judge you that much. I don't know. I also love how close everything is in Poland. Like, if you want to travel, you just hop on a train or even a plane, and in a few hours you're literally in a completely different country and experiencing a new culture, new food, like new everything, I would say. The US is so huge that traveling can feel like such a big deal. Here, weekend trips to places like Prague, I don't know, Berlin or like Vienna are totally doable, and that just opens doors up for so many possibilities. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the United States. Like, I love it. There are definitely things that I miss. I miss some of the food. Like, who doesn't love a good like American burger or like a big pancake breakfast from like Waffle House? And there's a certain energy in the US, like this feeling that anything is possible. That's hard to really replicate, but at the same time, Poland just feels like calmer in a good way. Life moves a bit slower here and people take time to enjoy the little things. Like, you sit down for a coffee and you really sit down for a coffee. You're not just like grabbing it to go, like, you know? I think I also love the seasons here. In Poland, you really get all 4 seasons, and the winters can be cold, yeah, but there's definitely something magical about the snow and the Christmas and like Christmas markets. And then when spring comes, you really truly appreciate it so much more. The parks and the green spaces start to bloom, and Warsaw becomes such like a fall vibe, and everyone is like truly outside enjoying the sun. And the summers are warm but not unbearably hot like in certain parts of the US. And then fall is just amazing here. It's one of my favorite seasons. The leaves change and it's like a painting. In the US, depending on truly where you are, you don't always get to experience like that kind of seasonal change. And I have to say, Poland feels incredibly safe most of the time. I mean, of course there are like always things to be mindful of and certain situations to be mindful of, but overall, I feel more comfortable here, even like late at night sometimes. I can walk around Warsaw and I feel at ease, which is a major, huge plus. So yeah, in a lot of ways, Poland just feels like home to me now. I don't know, it's giving me like a new perspective on life, on what really matters. It's not always about the hustle or having the newest, like shiniest things. It's like truly about enjoying where you are and who you're with and what you have. And that's always something I feel Poland has taught me, to like slow down a bit, to appreciate like the simple pleasures and to connect more deeply with the world like around me. So yeah, maybe that's why I love Poland, and like why I think, at least for now, I prefer it over the US. Every day I feel lucky to call this place home at the moment, and I don't know, I just appreciate it now. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give us a like and also subscribe to our channel, Explore with Kojo. So yeah, see you guys soon.